This video is for John Cooke, Jerry Garner, and Ed Haffner, and the commissioners, the county commissioners, the mayor, all of you people, mayor of Garden City. I have a claim against you, against the government. I believe that you are forcing contracts on people, and you are doing it because we're ignorant. And I know there's no crime against that, but I believe that it can be a crime when you begin to force your contracts on other people. The license, the driver's license, the social security card, birth certificate, they're all contracts. The reason they're contracts is because America became bankrupt in 1933. We ran out of gold. America ran out of gold, and so we had nothing to pay the bankers for the continued borrowing of the United States. So what they did is they created they had American people be the collateral, and our birth certificate is collateral because it's through this legal fiction that was created on the birth certificate, the capital letters, the code name, and of course code means a system of words, letters, figures, or other symbols substituted for other words, letters, etc., especially for the purposes of secrecy. So the reason why we have codes and why we can't understand this is because it's simply commerce. Buyer beware. An old Roman maxim is, let him who will be deceived, let him be deceived. So since we are now a corporation, the United States is a corporation, United States Code, Title 18, Section 3002, says that the definition of United States is a federal corporation. So we're a corporation. When we became bankrupt to the bankers, actually, it became a corporation back in 1860 something. I don't know the date exactly. So basically, in order to get, since the government could not support itself and they couldn't live within their means, now we're under the control of the bankers. Now we're a business, so we can continue our operations. So it's not about freedom and liberty, it's about making the corporation money so they can continue, and for the bankers, the international bankers. So these documents are contracts, and you are taking advantage of people's ignorance. It's just commerce, when you're buying and selling, when you want to sell something, you got dishonest people who don't want to disclose all the details of the product. So that's the nature of the driver's license, the social security card. Basically what you're doing is you're hiring a corporation to be your security guard. You're hiring them to be your caretaker. When you sign the license, you're saying you're giving up your right to travel freely unmolested, and then you accept a privilege to drive where you are continually molested, so you can make the government money, you can make the corporation money. And the problem arises when people understand this and they no longer want to contract with you. They want to keep their rights of the Constitution, and they don't want to do commerce with the corporation, which Greeley is a corporation. I don't understand how it became a corporation and all that, but I am just going to venture to say that you are a corporation, and that you do enforce codes. When you go to court, the way the court recognizes the word person, it's not the way you and I recognize it, because it's a code. It has another definition. Black's Law Dictionary defines person as a legal fiction or a corporation. So when you sign your name to those capital letters, your code name, that is a legal fiction. That is a corporation. You are acting on behalf of the legal the legal fiction that was created at your birth through codes. So we did not have to contract. We don't have to contract. If you can prove to me that I have to contract, then I have no choice. But why would they make you sign a license? I mean, if it's not a contract, of course, you're either going to follow the rules or you're not. But what you're doing is you're, in essence, just giving up your right to travel freely, and you're accepting a privilege to drive. So what happens is you have these people that don't want to contract, and then you have officers who don't understand none of this. City leaders don't understand none of this. And the only people that know are the judges, and they don't even know half the time. All they know is the system, and most people don't understand that it's all a code, because the international bankers have created this. Our politicians who sleep with the bankers, they're the ones that have created this for the interest of the international bankers. We're bankrupt. Not only bankrupt money-wise and physically-wise, but mentally. We're mentally bankrupt. We don't even know what we're doing when we sign these documents. We have no clue the inner workings of the bankruptcy and the Federal Reserve and fake money. John Adams said, "All perplexity, distress, and confusion that arise in America are not from defects in the Constitution or Confederation, but in a downright ignorance of the nature of coin and its circulation. Clear up the money problem, and all seemingly unrelated problems will simply vanish. The importance of gold and silver as money is that it does not give bankers power. That's why our forefathers said that no state shall coin money on anything but gold and silver for the payment of debts. Now we have the dollar bill, which is a bill. That means $1 has to be paid back to the Federal Reserve. We're trading bills, we're trading debt. And we're indebted to the international bankers, and that's why they enforce these codes and this system that we can't understand. Just think about Title 26. If you watch Theft by Deception, the federal income tax, you'll see that the conclusion is that only foreigners doing business within the states are liable for the federal income tax. But when you contract with the United States corporation, you become a foreigner to the Constitution and your rights, and you become a citizen of the United States Federal Corporation. And then you become liable for the federal income tax. So I would like for the city leaders to come to me, to call me. You have my phone number, 337-366-5173. You have my phone number. Give me a call. Explain to me, if you guys are truly doing what's right, you guys are truthful, then I believe I deserve a right to know. I believe that if you are going to have authority over me, that I want to know how you have that authority over me. I don't believe you do. I don't want to contract and enter into business with you. When you pull somebody over, when an officer pulls somebody over, he questions him and detains him and questions him. And if somebody doesn't want to answer the questions, you start wondering, are they doing something wrong because they're not answering questions? Well, I'm asking you questions, and I believe that you guys are doing something wrong. And please forgive me if I seemed a little worked up. I am a little frustrated that, the public servants, our public servants, are not being held accountable. They're not answering questions. they're acting like criminals in my observations. There's something going on. They don't want us to know. They don't think that they're there for me. And I think that's what the Constitution says, that we elect a government, so for the pursuit of happiness. So I want the truth. And if you guys are working in darkness, I'm here to tell you that truth is not going to be your friend, because you guys are operating in the dark. That's why whenever you see these videos of officers, whenever the video camera's on them, they act different, because it's hard for them to operate in their normal duties in the light. And it's just like the same thing when I call public officials. They don't want the answer to my questions to come to light. Either they don't know, or there's something going on. So I would like for you to call me, and I would like to go through this. I want to understand. You guys always ask, do you understand? Well, I'm sorry, I can't stand under your authority, because all of your words, your whole system of legalese, your language is all foreign to me. I can't understand your language. I understand what's going on. I understand you're a corporation and you're doing business, and you have a right to contract and to do that. You have that right, to my understanding. But those of us who don't want to, we want our rights. We don't want to travel and be molested. You've turned motor vehicle into a word of commerce. Read the United States codes. Motor vehicle is a motor vehicle for the purpose of commerce. And that's what the code is meant for. It's meant for commerce. It's not meant for people and their freedom, to my understanding. So thank you.